Welcome, dear children, to Moral Science class for Standard 6. Chapter 14. Your life is your message. Charity. Part 1. My dear children, in our tradition, in our culture, charity has been given a lot of importance. Charity means donation. Charity means to give away something, to give something to those who are devoid of certain basic things. So, charity is a very good virtue, and each one of us must donate something or the other according to our capacity to the poor people. Correct? Our lesson starts here. You may refer to page 47. Few years back, an incident took place in Delhi, the capital of our country. One day, a fire broke out in the huts where poor people were living. People ran in haste to remove their belongings from their small huts, but one lady, leaving her hut, entered her neighbor's hut and helped them to bring out their goods. Meanwhile, all her own possessions burnt to ashes. Now, my dear children, see there is a very touching and appealing incident has been described here in the capital of our country in Delhi when a fire broke out in the huts. One poor lady, instead of saving her own things, she entered into her neighbor's hut and she helped that other neighbors to save their goods, and while doing so she lost her own possessions. Now here a few new words you may notice. People ran in haste. Haste means hurry. People were in a hurry. They wanted to remove their belongings, means their things, from their heart. Now this lady, she lost all her possessions as she helped her neighbor to save a few things. On seeing her strange behavior, many were surprised and questioned her. Many people questioned her. The lady replied, "My neighbor had just bought clothes and jewels for her daughter's marriage." Okay. What reason is that lady said? She said that my neighbor has brought and she has purchased new clothes and jewels for the daughter's marriage. If it got burnt, the marriage might not take place. Correct? So I helped them. I was not worried about my belongings. I am happy and proud of my action. This lady's life itself is a message of charity. Okay. So when we think about this lady's uh, behavior or the way she reacted when the fire broke out in the huts, this lady's life, this lady's action itself is the message of charity. Charity means love. Charity includes the love for God, love for our fellow man, and love for all creatures. Okay, only when we have love for other people around us, we can give them something. Correct? So, charity means love. Charity also means to come out of selfishness and being a helping hand to all. Hmm? When you donate something, charity means to give something, to donate something. So when you give away something which is your own, you come out of selfishness. Okay, most of the time we think of ourselves only. We buy things for ourselves. We never think of our neighbors or the poor people living around us. So when you do charity, you come out of your selfishness and you become a helping hand to all. Understood, my dear children? Here you can see uh, the speaker is explaining the importance of being a volunteer. Volunteer yourself means willingly. You should donate something, give away something, and give with love. Give with your heart. Volunteer for some work. Okay, so this is how the charity begins. And you must have love for your fellow beings. Then only you can do charity. Okay, lighten the burden of at least one person. Okay, now you know that in our society, in our city, in our village, all the people are not rich. All the people are not able to afford all the luxuries, or rather they're not even able to afford the basic necessity of life. So we must all lighten their burden. They are under the burden. They are under the burden of earning more and more money, and they don't get chance to earn money. That is why they live under the poverty line. So we should at least lighten the burden of at least one person. That we can do, though we cannot help many people at a time. At least we can help one person in a day. This is far, far better than going on Hajj and performing namaz 1,000 times on a day. Hmm? So, this is better than going on Hajj. Means Hajj is what? It's a religious tour performed by the Muslims. All the Muslims, when and they get chance, they perform Hajj and they go to Mecca and Medina. So here it is said that if you at least lighten the burden of one person, if you do some kind of charity, it's better than going on Hajj or performing namaz 1,000 times on the way. So said Sheikh Sadi. Now Sheikh Sadi was a very famous writer and was a philosopher. What he said, yes, if you can do an act of charity, it is nobler than the highest form of worship. If you want to worship God, if you want to pray to God, if you are the devotee, real devotee of the God, what you should do? Only one thing, charity. And charity means giving away with love, with fellow feeling, hmm, and with the um, hope in your mind that you will at least lighten the burden of one person. Swami Vivekananda used to say that one hand out to lend help is far greater than two hands raised in prayer. So Swami Vivekananda also told the same thing. You know that Swami Vivekananda was a very prominent spiritual and religious personality who influenced the world by his uh, presence in Chicago in a religious assembly. What he said, that one hand which is reached out to lend help means to give help, is greater, is far greater than two hands raised in prayers. If you mean to serve God's creatures, it is as good as worshipping God Himself. If you are helping the human beings, so the finally they are the children of God, and so in that way you are worshipping God Himself by helping the God's own children, thinking good of others and trying to understand them is charity. Okay, when you think good of other people, those who are around you, those who live nearby you, those who do not have uh, basics basic necessity of the life. Please help them out. And when you think good of others and when you try to understand them, that is also charity. Wiping the tears of others is charity. We are charitable when we forget that caste, creed, and community and love everyone. Hmm. When we forget about caste and creed, when we forget about community, which community we belong to, and when we start loving everyone, that is the true charity. Charity is what makes us consider everyone as the children of God. Correct? Here in this image, again you can see that how you can help the other people. How do you have your savings? Hmm? You might be uh, collecting coins or money in your piggy bank, then you can give it to the other children. Correct? uh, those who are in need of a few things, so give them. Okay, then you can also help hands in um, providing first aid or giving medical services to the other people, those who need. That is also a kind of charity. So you should donate, you should help, and you should volunteer yourself for some service. That is also a kind of charity, my dear children. So here you should not think of which caste or creed or which community the person belongs to. You should love each and every one. So charity is what makes us consider everyone as the children of God. Correct? We all are the children of God and we must all help one another. The true charity demands sacrifices from us. This is very important, dear children. True charity demands what? Sacrifices. Sacrifices means you should be ready to give up everything, anything, for the sake of other persons. That is called sacrifice. We have to sacrifice our pleasures first of all. If you are busy in your own enjoyment, in your own pleasures, in celebrating your own birthday, how can you do charity? So first of all, we have to sacrifice what? Our pleasures. Secondly, our time. You should give time for some noble work, our energy and our wealth. So you should sacrifice all these things: your pleasures, your time, your energy, and your wealth. It demands our knowledge, our talents, and our strength too. We may even have to sacrifice our lives for others, my dear children. Such a big challenge has been made here, and it's such a great point that we also have to sacrifice our lives sometimes for other people, as many martyrs did here in our country. You might have heard the name of Bhagat Singh and Sukhdev and Rajaguru and many other revolutionaries. Correct? So they were ready and they gave their lives to save our country. So that was also a big sacrifice on their part. So, my dear children, charity means giving away with love. Charity means caring for others. Charity means to sacrifice your time, your pleasure, your energy, and your money for the other people and for the needy people. My dear children, we will end here and the next lesson will complete in the next video. Have a nice day.